Sprout is unique because the people here have the spirit to help, to make things work, to make things happen. They see that as a benefit to the rider, and they see it as a benefit to the team. And that's just different. That's just the difference between Sprout and other places we've seen.
We get a sense that it's really accomplishing good things with the children, giving them a sense of confidence, fulfillment, and at the same time, it's something that I think should be sustained because it can help so many more kids as it grows and continues to grow.
And it's just an incredible instruction, incredible personal experience, incredible family experience, incredible experience for my child with the animals. We just get so much more out of Sprout than any other therapeutic riding we've tried.
The mission of Sprout is to provide equine-assisted activities and therapies to individuals that are seeking opportunities for growth. We do therapeutic riding lessons for people that have special needs. Our instructors are certified instructors, and we're very well versed on how to deal with the distinctive differences of all of our clients. And in those lessons, we're teaching them riding skills, and in the meantime, we try to pull in physical goals and speech and communication goals, occupational type goals, and just try to make it a well-rounded experience for them.
Well, Antonio has cerebral palsy, and he's 24. Although he's had therapy, physical therapy and so on throughout his life, he's never been able to walk.
So one of his major goals was to work on his core muscles. When your core muscles aren't working to help keep your body in alignment, slowly, you start to break down.
When he started riding, he immediately started shedding pounds in the trunk because that's the part you work the most. So he's probably at around 180 pounds. He was probably at about 200 pounds when he started. And that came off quickly.
So when we get him on a horse, it's really a freeing experience for him. He's able to go places that he would not be able to go in his wheelchair, and that's why we love to take him out on trails and to let him see birds and trees close up and take walks up hills and down hills, because for him that's not an everyday occurrence.
Many times when he's riding, he's working very hard. He works up a sweat. But for him, it's not like a challenge that he's working hard. It's an enjoyment.
So Riley is a 7-year-old little boy. He's got 3 things that he's challenged by. One is Down syndrome, and the second is apraxia of speech, which is the inability to produce intentional speech. That's the most challenging thing he faces. And third is sensory processing disorder. So he just doesn't read sensory input the same way we do. Some of it comes across as pain, some of it doesn't come across. It's just all processed differently by his brain.
We have a student who has apraxia of speech, and they videotaped him to show his speech therapist because he does so much better on horseback than he does when he's sitting in an office with a speech therapist. And there's something about being around a horse that makes things happen.
When he was doing an exercise with Brooke, his instructor, where she was having him go down through the corral and gather a flower, come back and put it in a bucket and make a bouquet. And as she did the exercise and instructed him, she kept using the word mom. And as they came back and put another flower in the bouquet, he said mom, clear as day. He's never said mom. He's tried since he was 6 months old. He's now 7 years old. He said it clear as a bell, and Brooke kept on instructing him and going through the lesson, and I just had chill bumps and stood perfectly still because I'd never heard my child say mom. And he did in that moment. I said to the sidewalker, he's never said mom, and she told Brooke, and Brooke kept working, and afterwards we talked about what a huge moment it was.
Marin is our granddaughter. She's 7 years old and has Down syndrome.
She was a little hesitant at first, being around big old Finn. He's a wiggly little pony, and so she was a little bit worried.
It took her a while to get adjusted. Now in the fall lesson, we've noticed that she gets on the horse by herself.
The first time she got on, she climbs up the block, and she's kind of slow about it, and I'm talking to her about the steps of what she has to do in the order. So she walks up to the top of the block, she grabs her reins, and she thinks about things for a moment, and she walks down the steps. And she's like, I just don't think I can do this. And I tell her, come on, Marin, you can do this. We're gonna walk up these steps. Ready, 1, 2, 3. And we walk up one step, And we didn't get the 2-3, so we walked back down. And so we go back and forth for a while. And finally, she goes, I know I can do it. And she walks up the steps, puts her foot in the stirrup, swings over. And as soon as she got on, she looks at me and she says, I knew I could do it.
The changes we've seen in Marin is she's a lot more confident. Watching her grow from those first lessons to now really has given us a sense of enjoyment, fulfillment. Seeing any child improve and achieve something.
She loves to go up and say hi to Finn and kiss him and hug him, and they have that kind of special friendship between one another, and I think that she knows that he will take care of her.
The quote that they say all the time, there's something about the outside of a horse that's good for the inside of a man, and I cannot put it into words because it just makes you feel special.
Being on a horse, just from the self-esteem standpoint, you're all sitting on a horse just like everybody else. So there's kind of like, you're equal. That is a big part of it.
The coolest bonds that Riley has with his horse, Finn, is that they're both nonverbal. I think he appreciates that Riley can't speak and responds to him in a nonverbal way, and I think that Riley feels the same way. He has respect for this big, huge thing that can't speak, but that is gentle to him and kind to him and does whatever he wants without having to be told.
Horses and animals are very non-judgmental. They're who they are, and they accept their riders as who they are.
I think the horses know. They know when they have a rider on them that may not have all of the capabilities, and I've seen many of the horses shift their weight to rebalance the rider or wait patiently while the rider becomes adjusted to the saddle or regains their stirrup.
When he first got on, Antonio would lean to one side, and then he would lean to the other side because his core stability was very limited. And now I continually check with the sidewalkers when he's on, just to ask them, is he leaning on you, or is he stable? Is he balanced in the saddle? And they are able to walk with him in, I would say, about a 300-foot distance with him completely balanced on his own.
It has done a tremendous amount of good, both for his own self-esteem and then physically. Because we were starting to get concerned about curvature in his spine, and it's no longer an issue.
The biggest change I've seen in Riley since he started the program here at Sprout is his independence and self-esteem. He is asked to take control of the horse, to be in control of the horse, to be in control of mounting a horse by himself. He's a little boy, and no one ever lets him do anything or make any choice by himself. His instructor at Sprout does.
When he gets home, he rests better, he eats better, he's always in a good mood, but with this, he's even in a better mood.
The object is for everybody here to be happy, whether you're scooping stalls or riding a horse.
When you see her so happy and enjoying herself and enthusiastic, it's just, that's what you live for.